Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon, dear students. So, in the previous lecture, we discussed about the chapter first, that means the novel, in which we discussed about the whole theme, summary, plot, and everything. Then, after that, in the second lecture, we discussed about the brainstorming activities, in which we discussed the characters particularly, means the whole activities which was based on the characters of the novel. That's what we discussed in the of the novel. So, here are some of the questions that we are going to do. The very first question is arrange the incidents in the correct sequence as per their occurrences in the extract. So, here are 7 points given, okay, in front of you as you can see. So, these 7 points are given to us so that we have to rearrange them, okay, as it have occurred in the novel. Means from these 7 sentences whichever have come first as per the story, so we have to rearrange them accordingly, okay. So what first came or first appeared in the novel was the point G, that is students council was held every year on November 15th. Then came the F, which is Denham called out the names of the representatives. This appeared second in the novel. Then came the third one, which is E. Furman was as usual a trump card. Then appeared D. The slips were folded and placed in a hat. Then came C. Denham asserted that PT periods were a waste of time. Then A. Denham was outwitted by Miss Phillips. Then last B. The head of the school closed the proceedings. So that's how it appeared in the novel. Then comes another one. Describe in brief the purpose of organizing the half yearly report program of the Students' Council. Means we have to describe in brief that what exactly the purpose to arrange or to organize the half yearly report in the school, the Green Slate School basically. Students would present what they had studied to the teachers and other students. The main purpose of the event was to analyze and discuss the academic process of the students. Through their presentations, the students would outline what they had learned in their classes, and the teacher would thus obtain a clear picture of the depth of their understanding. The report was thus crucial in deciding the structure of the remaining academic year. Another significant aspect of the report was the panel discussion. A panel of teachers would be selected by the students to whom questions about the reports would be asked. Not only did the students have complete freedom in choosing the names and number of the teachers on the panel, but the teachers would not be told about their selection beforehand. This served the purpose of assuring the students that they had the power to shape their academic progress. In addition to these primary objectives, the program also provided the students with the perfect platform to showcase their organization skills, become more involved in the activities of the school, voice their opinions, as well as raise their concerns. Denham's blunt criticism of the PT class is a perfect example of how much programs can help the students voice their views. Now, that's how the whole event took place, and that's how the brief discussion about the purpose of organizing the half yearly report. Now comes another question. Write in your own words the entire half yearly report program of the Students' Council. An event entirely arranged and presented by the students themselves was held on November 15th. Miss Joseph and Denham, the two most senior students, were in charge of the day's program. The meeting began with a speech by Mr. Florian the headmaster who outlined the aims and policies of the school. His presentation, though lengthy, was well received and was followed by a short address by Miss Joseph, who outlined the council's purpose and its activities. Following this, each class took turns reporting through their chosen representatives on what they had been studying in the first half of the year, which had begun after Easter. Each subject had its own representative. The lowest class was the first to represent the report. Being the youngest, the children of this class were shy and frightened but managed to present their reports honorably. As each succeeding class presented its report, it became clear that as the students progressed through the ranks, there was a noticeable increase in their ability to express themselves. Mr. Braithwaite's class, being the oldest, was last to present its report. Once again, Miss Joseph took the stage and began the class report by stating the common theme underlying all the lessons, the brotherhood of mankind and the interdependence that exist among the nations of the world. Potter presented the report on mathematics and observed that the use of common weights and measures around the world as an example of the greater understanding that existed among the people of different nations. Sapiano spoke about the study of pests, reducing that damage. Miss Pegg and Jackson discussed geography, while Jackson focused on how the unequal distribution of minerals and vegetables around the world led to interdependence among nations. Miss Pegg outlined the problems faced by the post war world, the state of refugees, and the role of the UNICEF. Furman stole the show by displaying a model of a human skeleton and stressing the conclusion that all people were the same. Mr. focused on the importance of the exchange of knowledge among countries in order to effectively deal with the problems of sickness and disease. Miss Dodd offered a historical perspective, specifically the Reformation in England, to emphasize the need for tolerance towards other cultures and beliefs. Denham delivered a shocking report as he criticized the structure and general pattern of the PT. The games class, finally, a panel of teachers was chosen to answer any questions pertaining to the reports which had been given. Mr. Weston, Mrs. Dell Evans, and Miss Phillips were chosen to at random to form the teachers' panel. Denham protested the need for all students to take the PT class. Mr. Weston responded poorly by being loud and aggressive instead of offering valid points. However, Miss Phillips stepped in and defended the need for all students to do PT. Although Denham made some good points, he was soon outwitted by Miss Phillips and gave up on the matter. The meeting ended with a final address by the headmaster expressing his pride in all the students and appreciation. Now, the another question is describe the question answer session that took place at the end of the extract. So, an important feature of the half yearly report was the panel discussion. Scheduled for the end of the program, Miss Phillips, Mrs. Dell, at the random to form the panel and were asked questions about the reports by the students of the school. The questions were mostly from senior students, and the teachers had not been made aware of the questions beforehand. As such, they were caught off guard by the questioning and were struggling to answer them. Of the three, Miss Phillips was the most informed and answered the question with honesty and authority. She also managed to skillfully tackle some of the questions posed to the other teachers in order to help them and save them from embarrassment. In comparison, not only did Mr. Weston put on effort in looking presentable, but also try to escape Furman's and Denham's blunt questioning by talking loudly and pretending to be offended so as to avoid offering any valid explanations. He could not justify the need for the PT class when Denham argued that the class offered no physical benefits once again. It was Miss Phillips who stepped in and successfully defended the need for the PT class, thereby outwitting Denham, who then admitted defeat and gave up on the matter. This concluded the question answer session of the program. Now, another question, describe the discussion that took place between Miss Joseph and Denham. So that's what we have to answer now. So the answer is, following the class representations, a panel of teachers was randomly selected to answer questions that the students might have regarding the reports. This panel included criticism of the PT class, and as a follow up to his report, he asked the panel of teachers to justify the need for such a class, as he believed it offered no physical advantages. Being a trained boxer, Denham was of the opinion that exercises could only benefit the students if they were performed daily and for longer periods of time, thereby implying that as the PT class was only for 20 minutes twice a week, it was a waste of time. While Mr. Weston could not offer any satisfactory explanation, Miss Phillips stepped in and responded by reminding the students that because the school had limited resources, the goal was to have a timetable that ensured maximum benefit for maximum number of students. She argued that while Denham and other physically fit students like him might not see the benefit of the PT class because of their participation in other sports, but the school was how many has many more students that could benefit from it. In addition, she even called upon senior students like Denham to help out in their respect. Denham thought, though impressed by Miss Phillips' clever response, was not ready to give up his questioning and further argued that if true, then only those students who need PT should be made to take it, and boys like Denham who don't depend on it for the exercise should be allowed to use the time as they see fit. This question, as an orator observes, was tricky, but Miss Phillips was as calm as ever and responded by saying that the school prepares the students for the real world. It was therefore important for them to get used to doing things they have been told to do, even if they don't like it. Miss Phillips argued that of the mind as well as of the body. Knowing had been outwitted, Denham accepted defeat and gave up his line of questioning. Thus, Denham's aggressive and blunt probing proved to be no match for Miss Phillips' patience and composure. Now there is another question. Which event took place in the extract? Choose the correct one. Give reason to support your answer. So basically there are four options given in front of us. The first is annual sports day on November 15th, annual social and cultural gathering on November 15th, half yearly report of students council on November 15th, or the farewell program on November 15th. So the correct answer is basically C, half yearly report of students council on November 15th. So the first line of the extract, the half yearly report of the students council was on November 15th and was one of the important days in the calendar of Green Slate School, gives us this information. Now the another one is, choose the correct alternative, give reason to support your answer. So the event in the extract was held at the, so basically it's asking that where exactly the event had been held. So there are four options in front of us: author's house, auditorium of the school, market, or the garden. So the answer is in green, auditorium of the school. Okay, the line, a bell was rung at 10 a.m. and everyone trooped into the auditorium to sit together in classes, confirms that event took place in the auditorium of the school. And then the another question is, the incidents in the extract occurred at a particular place. Explain the significance of the place in your own words. So the answer is, the incidents in the extract took place in the auditorium of Green Slate School, since the major and present their half yearly reports to the teachers and voice their concerns by questioning the panel of teachers. Throughout the extract, Mr. Braithwaite is merely an audience member. As his students take the stage, it becomes very clear that they have made considerable progress as not only students but also individuals. Even if Braithwaite had been aware of how his students had changed, the setting of the auditorium with him as an audience member allows him to observe from afar the rewards of his efforts. Through his narration, he conveys to the reader his feelings of pride. Another aspect of the setting that is symbolic to the students' progress is the stage. The stage is symbolic of the students' lives. By presenting their reports, the students are not just taking active participation in their school but also coming forward to take control of their lives. Finally, the stage also represents the perfect platform for the students to showcase their skills, and thus can also be compared to the stage of the drama, with the students being given the chance to charm the audience. Thus, Braithwaite, as an audience member, is like the director of a play, watching his work unfold on stage and beaming with pride. Then comes another question. Explain how the setting of the extract contributes to the theme of the novel. Okay, so the answer is the extract is set in the auditorium of the Green Slate School. The school itself is situated in the East End of London, and the story is set in the 1940s. The infamous East End is a key aspect reflecting the theme of the of racism and prejudices as experienced by the narrator. In 1940s, Britain racism was quite common. A narrator is a black man who is considered to be an outsider in British society. He is denied a job, treated poorly, and endures discrimination in many ways owing to his black heritage. It is with his bitterness at being left out that Braithwaite enters his new role as a teacher. When he meets the students of Green Slate School, he is shocked by their disrespectful and impolite behavior. But after studying the neighborhood in which the students live, he begins to understand their actions. The East End of London has historically been known for overcrowding, crime, and poverty, making it unsuitable environment for growing children. The students' behavior is a result of the neighborhood, and most teachers give up on teaching them. Thus, so the here was the answer of the question. So I hope you must have understood the whole thing. Thank you so much.